Destiny's Child in the early stages, you see, yeah, it's a group, it's a thing, and then when she blossoms out of it, it turns into something that's even crazier. Like, you don't miss the two other females being there.
Y'all call the internet Beyonce's internet. So is it not fair to come to the queen about evolving her business practices? And then when I think about how many songwriters that have written for this woman whose power has been taken, and it made me think about that song, Break My Soul, You Won't Break My Soul. And then I think about how many songwriters' souls have been broken.
It appears that 50 Cent has issued a rather ominous warning to Black artists, advising them to tread carefully around the Carters, especially Beyoncé, who's reportedly facing accusations of swiping material from fellow artists. So, what exactly did he say? In a 2023 conversation with XXL, the G-Unit mogul sounded off on the importance of relationships in the music industry, and in the process, raised a few eyebrows when he insinuated it was Hov's marriage to Bey, and not necessarily his talent, that has contributed to his mainstream success. The same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They were trying to get Eminem to do the Super Bowl without me. It wasn't happening, Fifth said of his appearance at 2022's Super Bowl halftime show. He then drew attention to Jay-Z and Beyoncé's relationship. It's okay for the award shows not to give me the trophies. Even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyoncé is when he started to receive the 16-17 Grammys since he's been with Beyoncé. And you go prior to that, he had one. That came with the association. You see, Jay and Beyonce's kids already have Grammys. They don't sing yet. They don't sing. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and so they say, give them this trophy so we can secure that they're coming to the awards show. It meant that much to the culture they just gave them the things, he added, implying the Carter family's long list of accolades is more a PR scam. Now, this got several people thinking, could this be the case for Beyoncé as well? Is she also getting away with being a mediocre artist just because of her larger-than-life name? Well, songwriter Tiffany Red tends to believe so.
I think Beyonce is a brilliant artist. I also think that Beyonce is a hypocrite.
Tiffany Red has been speaking out against the music industry, particularly Beyoncé, for claiming credit for songs she didn't actually write. Tiffany has a notable track record, having worked with big names like Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia. She's fed up with artists like Beyoncé getting all the glory and money while songwriters like herself struggle to make a living. It's especially irksome that Beyoncé, who didn't contribute to the songwriting process, still gets a hefty share of the royalties. Tiffany points out that Beyoncé has been able to get away with this because she makes songwriters sign contracts that prevent them from speaking out against her unfair practices. But Tiffany has reached her breaking point and is now raising her voice against it. She emphasizes that Beyoncé isn't the only one guilty of this, but she's among the worst offenders. Even when Jay-Z publicly criticized the Grammys for not awarding Beyoncé Album of the Year, Tiffany didn't hold back. She basically said, maybe Beyoncé will win the Grammy for Album of the Year when she starts paying songwriters and stops taking publishing from them. I hear it's around 15 to 30%. By the way, Grammys don't pay the bills, pay songwriters. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Parkwood, and Roc Nation. Additionally, in a lengthy video posted online, Red criticized a number of artists for taking songwriting credit where she claims it wasn't deserved. The Grammy-winning songwriter criticized the likes of Zendaya, Tamar Braxton, and Seven Streeter for taking a percentage of publishing on songs they didn't write or produce. Red then took aim at Beyoncé for similar practices. The reason I called out Beyoncé is because Beyoncé is the Michael Jackson of our generation, she said. I talked to somebody yesterday who's the manager of somebody who's a writer and producer on Renaissance. The record is one of y'all faves. The song was written 6 years before it got to Beyoncé. She got 25% of the song. I spoke to another writer who wrote and sang on one of y'all favorite songs. Credit not right, his business all effed up. Beyoncé was on tour last year with that record with that person's vocals. She then added, the reason why people who work for Beyoncé don't talk is they're all on NDAs. Because that's how she works, she silences people so that nobody can speak. She also wrote on X, my hope is that on Act L Beyoncé will pay songwriters a songwriter fee and master points and not take publishing or songwriting credit on any songs she did not write. Kellis previously called out Beyoncé for similar reasons. In several posts uploaded to social media in 2022, Kellis pointed out that Bey's Renaissance song Energy contained pieces of her 2003 hit Milkshake and maintained she was never asked for permission. My mind is blown too because the level of disrespect and utter ignorance of all three parties involved is astounding, she wrote. I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled. In any case, Beyonce is no stranger to stealing from fellow creatives. Y'all remember Beyonce's hit song, If I Were a Boy?
If I were a boy.
Turns out she stole this song. This No One ballad from Beyonce's I Am, Sasha Fierce was written by BC Jean, who was inspired by the idea after a recent breakup.
If I were a boy.
After writing the song with producer Toby Gad, she started shopping the song to labels as her lead single. However, once Beyonce's team got a sniff of it, they decided to let Miss Carter record her own version. BC was credited as the songwriter, which was bizarre to her considering she didn't intend for anyone else to sing the song. It's an amazing compliment, but I was like, that's great, but it's going to be on my album, she said in 2011. And it can be on my album too. I just didn't realize how it worked. Sounds like someone was taken for a ride. However, BC later clarified that the internet exaggerated claims that her song was stolen. The story is not as bad as everyone's saying it is, she said. It's pretty much the best breakup ever and the best experience ever, and again, it'll be on my album coming out in January. Sounds like she's not telling the full truth, but whatever the case, at least she got a huge check out of the deal. Additionally, Bey also copied her countdown music video from a Belgian dancer. Beyonce's choreography is iconic, but considering how long she's been in the game, it's probably hard for her and her team to constantly think of new and original ideas. That's probably why they lifted inspiration from Belgian choreographer Anne-Theresa de Keersmaker. Fans made side-by-side comparison videos to illustrate exactly how much was copied. Beyonce later admitted that the video was meant to be an homage. Clearly, the ballet Rosas danced Rosas was one of many references for my video countdown, she said in a statement to the New York Times. It was one of the inspirations used to bring the feel and look of the song to life. Anne still wasn't happy about it and expected Bey's team to at least give her a heads up, instead of directly stealing her work as an homage. There are protocols and consequences to such actions, and I can't imagine Beyonce and her team are not aware of it, she said at the time. As if that's not enough, Bey allegedly stole Baby Boy from a struggling singer-songwriter. Back in 2003, artist Jennifer Armour sent a demo of her song, Got a Little Bit of Love for You, to Beyonce's record label, Columbia Records. A few months later, she heard Baby Boy on the radio and thought the song sounded awfully familiar. She filed a lawsuit but ultimately lost because she couldn't prove to the judge that Bey physically heard her song first. Beyonce also allegedly stole dance moves for her Formation World Tour. Dancer and choreographer Marlon Oritz called Bey out for stealing dance moves from her troupe's show, De La Guarda. She took her grievances to social media, where she wrote in a lengthy Instagram post that, while inspiration is nice, she and her struggling colleagues would at least like a little credit. Beyonce, you have the nerve to steal exact concepts and choreography from other real creative geniuses. You stole from Breaking Surface, you stole the stomping from De La Guarda, Fuerza Bruta. It's okay to be inspired, but at least make the effort to make it your own. In any case, it seems her reputation for song stealing even persisted through her Destiny's Child days. Producer Terrence T. Rob Robinson filed a $200 million lawsuit against Destiny's Child for stealing his song Glorious, which he produced back in 2000. He showed the song to Bey's father-manager Matthew Knowles, expecting the song to kickstart his career. Matthew disappeared with the song, and months later, Survivor was born without Terrence's name or credit. I know right now I would be one of the biggest, most sought-after producers, he said at a news conference about the alleged theft. It's unclear what became of the suit, so it was probably settled out of court. Additionally, it seems Beyonce also lied about writing Crazy in Love. Crazy in Love is easily one of the best pop tracks of the 2000s, and according to Beyonce, the song was the product of a genius collaboration between herself and producer Rich Harrison. The song came from me actually looking crazy one day in the studio, Beyonce said at the time. I said, I'm looking crazy right now, and Rich Harrison, the producer, was like, that's the song. But that's not how Rich tells the story. According to him, after he played a sample of the track for Beyonce, she then told him, I love the idea. Now write the song. I'll be back in 2 hours. Although he was hungover, he managed to write the full song and play all the instruments before Bey got back. The only thing she wrote was the bridge, which is hardly the same as writing the whole song. Now let's talk about Irreplaceable. Back in 2008, she came under fire when she told an audience at a concert that she wrote Irreplaceable for fellow women, except she didn't write it. Nayo did. "I honestly wrote that song for myself," he said in 2011. However, a man singing it comes across a little bit misogynistic, a little bit mean. Although Bey didn't write it, Nayo said he had no problem letting her take songwriting credit because she put her own spin on it. Moving on, we have the Stevie Nicks sample in Bootylicious. That famous guitar riff from Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17 was sampled heavily in this track, and according to Beyoncé, it was her idea to use it. "It was 2000 and we were on our way to Japan," she said in her I Am Yours DVD, "and I came across this Stevie Nicks song. Something about this guitar riff reminded me of a voluptuous woman, and I said, I am gonna write a song to celebrate a woman's curves." Except using the sample wasn't her idea. It was producer Rob Fusari's, and he wasn't happy about Bey running around town taking credit. When he saw her on Barbara Walters lying about her involvement on the track again, he had enough. "I called Matthew, which was a big mistake," he told Billboard. "I called Matthew and said, 'Matthew, like, why?' He explained to me in a nice way. He said, 'People don't want to hear about Rob Fusari, producer from Livingston, New Jersey. No offense, but that's not what sells records. What sells records is people believing that the artist is everything.'" The scary thing about that exchange? Matthew was right. In 2018, Azalea Banks made claims that Bey tries to steal from talented women. Banks made the accusations in a couple of Instagram stories, in which she criticized Mrs. Carter for lacking originality. The controversial rapper claimed Bey used stolen choreography that was originally featured in her Count Contessa music video. The post came after Jay-Z and Beyoncé finished their two-night On the Run 2 tour stint at MetLife Stadium. "I realized that my ex-dancer Ashanti choreographed for Beyoncé and stole the original choreography Jip Jack made for Count Contessa," Banks wrote, before suggesting Beyoncé give her a job. "Beyoncé needs to get over herself and just hire me." But Banks insists she isn't the only artist who's been ripped off by Bey. She goes on to say that the Lemonade singer has pushed a message of female empowerment, but has always tried to steal from talented women and try to outdo them without success. "I really hope Beyoncé gets real with herself soon and humbles herself enough to accept the visions and full projects women who admire her put together for her," Banks continued. "Like, we don't need any more Beyoncé thought moments. I have no clue why she wants to be a regular B." The Fantasia rapper made similar accusations back in 2016 when she claimed Beyoncé exploited black female artists. "She's not an artist, she's a poacher. She takes food out of darker-skinned women's mouths and pretends to be inspired," Banks tweeted. "She needs to stay under Jay-Z's foot where she belongs and stay out of the creative woman's way." In any case, Beyoncé's copycat ways go beyond music to style. You see, a few months ago, Erykah Badu was raising eyebrows with a post that had fans questioning if she was throwing shade at Beyoncé for stealing her style, or was she also suggesting that Beyoncé keeps stealing from other artists and should be stopped. Okay, what had happened was Erykah Badu posted a photo of Beyoncé performing at her tour in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and captioned the photo of Bey's outfit, which featured a dramatic top hat. She also posted a picture of herself wearing something similar and captioned her photo, "I guess I'm everyone's stylist, favorite chrome mirror hat." So it's clear that Erykah has done the most with over-the-top hats through the years. Whether she's on stage or on a red carpet, she has been known to sport a towering fascinator. But does that mean that when Beyoncé wore a similar hat, she was biting her style? Well, a lot of people reacted to Erykah's post by saying she was reaching. Plus, Beyoncé has been wearing those hats for years, and this time it was probably just metallic to match the Renaissance theme. Some people also pointed out that maybe Erykah should be reminded that artists like Beyoncé have numerous stylists who put such stuff together, and whenever things are similar or look inspired, it rarely has anything to do with the artist directly. In addition, a lot of people also didn't see a problem, even if Beyoncé actually got her inspiration from Erykah. Other people pointed out how mean it was for Erykah to be shading Beyoncé, yet Bey has been shouting her out for being one of the greats. Now, what y'all don't know is that Erykah didn't just do the stories out of the blue. When Beyoncé posted a couple of photos on the gram wearing the same hat, Erykah commented, "I'm flattered," and many people said that the comment had some negative energy attached to it. Then Erykah posted the Insta stories and did a whole reel on her page message about how the chrome hat is her favorite hat. Initially, it looked like people were just trying to stir something up, but after Erica's several posts, it really looked like she believed that Beyoncé was copying her style. And it's also possible that Beyoncé actually wore the hat intentionally to copy Erica. Additionally, in 2015, Serbian pop star Jelena Karlusa made headlines around the world when she accused Beyoncé of copying her style. Karlusa had previously called out Kim Kardashian for allegedly copying her look. When she came for Beyoncé, the pop star posted various side-by-side comparison shots of similar outfits they have worn over the years. Karlusa even wrote on her Instagram, "It's called originality. You should try it sometime." In any case, it seems Beyoncé has a habit of stealing from other artists, and a prime example is how she did Amory dirty. For context, Amory struggled with getting her music out there. When she was working on her second album in 2004, she sought the help of producer Rich Harrison, who's known for working with both J.Lo and Beyoncé. He's previously helped Amory in her first album, All I Have. The producer and his team finished the lead single for the second album, One Thing, in only 2 to 3 hours. Everyone felt good about the track that it was immediately sent to Amory's label, Columbia. The record company didn't like it. They wanted bigger choruses. Amory and Harrison quickly got back to work, trying to improve the song as asked. The label kept rejecting every version they turned in. The singer said that people just weren't getting it. At last, after 6 months of recording the final output, they decided to leak it to radio stations instead. But apparently, Columbia was trying to kill off the single since J.Lo was about to record her own album, Rebirth. With radio stations refusing to pull out One Thing from their playlists, Amory got the official release she deserved. The Let's Get Loud hitmaker ended up doing Get Right, another song produced by Harrison. Fans thought it was all suspicious. Some internet detectives began to trace the origins of Beyoncé's 2003 hit Crazy, In Love to Amory's One Thing, and Why Don't We Fall in Love. In an interview with MTV in 2004, the former Destiny's Child member said that what made Crazy in Love a hit was the horn hook. She explained that it has this go-go feel to it, this old school feel. I wasn't sure if people were going to get it. Fans argue that it was all Amory's signature. Though the Bayhive maintains that speculators are overreaching, many agree that it is fishy how Harrison first worked with Amory, but was later brought by Matthew Knowles to Beyoncé and Kelly Rowland. They also think that in this statement made by Harrison regarding Crazy in Love, he might have been referring to Amory's sound. "Yeah, I had it in the chamber," he said about finding the right artist for the track. "I hadn't really shopped it much because sometimes you don't want to come out of the bag before it's right. People don't really get it and you'll leave them with a foul taste in their mouth, so it was just something that I held on to until I got the call from B." In an unrelated statement, Amory said that you don't hear go-go outside of DC. She was discussing her journey in getting people in the industry to go for her go-go sound. "We did it the first time on Need You Tonight, which was a song on the last album, but we slowed it down a lot, and this time we did it on an up-tempo track. I was like, we have to do it in an up-tempo way because when you hear it on the radio in DC, it's fast. So it's a fresh sound for everybody but people in the DC, Maryland/Virginia area. They already know what it is." From that statement, Amory's supporters gathered that it was highly possible that Harrison took inspiration from their collaborations. Aside from that, fans also noticed that around that time, Beyoncé started to imitate Amory's funk style in her music videos. But since Crazy in Love came out first, Queen Bee stans believe that the accusations are just ridiculous. In any case, even during her Destiny's Child days, Beyoncé and her team were also notorious for stealing. Producer Terrence T. Rob Robinson filed a $200 million lawsuit against Destiny's Child for stealing his song Glorious, which he produced back in 2000. Allegedly, he showed the song to Bey's father and manager at the time, Matthew Knowles, expecting the song to kickstart his career. However, Matthew disappeared with the song, and months later, Survivor came out. This list goes on as Beyoncé lied about writing Crazy in Love, lied about Irreplaceable, lied about the Stevie Nicks sample in Bootylicious being her idea, and she literally copied her 2011 Billboard Music Awards performance from an Italian pop star. Beyoncé has also allegedly lifted a ton of concepts from Madonna, as detailed in a lengthy Twitter thread. There was even a clip of Beyoncé allegedly lying about how she came up with Bow Down. She claimed, "I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive, it was angry. It wasn't the Beyoncé that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyoncé that felt the need to defend herself." However, the truth is that Bow Down was actually written for Rihanna by songwriting brothers Rock City, the same ones who wrote Rihanna's hit songs Man Down, We Can't Stop, and Replay. They revealed in a podcast that they wrote the song in 9 minutes and expected to deliver the track to Rihanna. In a recent shoot with Vogue, Beyoncé was seen dragging long chrome acrylic nails with needles on them across a spinning record. However, those unique needle nails nails were originally made by Victoria Shen, and she had no idea that Beyoncé lifted her idea without proper attribution or compensation. It was only after a ton of backlash that Beyoncé's team credited Shen for her needle nails. In any case, while it's true that Beyoncé has faced numerous allegations of copying or stealing from fellow artists, we can't overlook the undeniable fact that her career is undeniably a result of sheer hard work and unwavering dedication to her craft. Let's be real, she didn't earn the title Queen Bey for nothing. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.